3. 1, 2, 3.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Day 2 of the 2018 SIAC Tournament. I'm Tolly Carr, along with Charles Ward. We survived the first day, 4 games in, Charles. And, hey, we're going to do it not tired today. We're going to go with 5 games. Thank you so much for joining us here on the HBCU Game Day digital platform. A little extra bonus for you today. We're on Twitter. We'll come back and talk about the game in just a second. We'll hold it here for the playing of the national anthem and let you listen in on that. Did you hear me? I can't hear myself. It might be the... And I'd like to start the day off on a good note, Charles. I want to start with the compliment that we got. I got an email from the commissioner early this morning, and this came from Owen Lawson IV. And this is just part of what he had to say. And I think we got a lot of this yesterday, which is something I want to talk about. It says, thank you and your staff for the decision to air this year's SIAC basketball tournament on HBCU Game Day. Too many times Opportunities to recognize risk takers who succeed with risky decisions fly right by and receive little fanfare for the leaders who believed in taking chances. In one decision, you are empowering student athletes, entrepreneurs, and potential recruits to see how brilliant today is and tomorrow can be. I'm so excited for the fans out there, Charles, who love SIAC basketball and these student athletes, and us being able to give them a platform for them to put on their best and for us to bring it to the people.
Indeed, you're right. That's the kind of compliment we love hearing, and certainly hats off to the commissioner, to you at HBCU Game Day, and to Toby Durham for that collection of people who are progressive enough to create this platform for the SIAC basketball tournament. So some very good thoughts coming through that message, and we are happy to be a part of it here at the Crossplex in Bill Harris Arena.
Well, we got a game today that rolls right off your tongue, Lane versus Paine.
One of these teams with a loss will feel some pain and discontinue their season in SIAC play. We're at second round activity here, players being introduced here at courtside. It's the Dragons of Lane College, second in the West, meeting the Lions of Paine College, seventh in the East. This is the mammoth day of the SIAC tournament. 5 ball games on tap today for you on the HBCU Game Day. We'll be here with the coverage. Hope you can stay with us all day and all night long as we progress through the SIAC tournament. Dragons of Lane College 13-12 on this season, 11-8 in conference play. Paine at 6-21, 4-15. Sam Byde's going to start at a guard position for the Lions of Paine College. He'll be joined by Babe Murphy. You'll see these players. We'll talk about them as the ball game progresses. Cameron Gaines will go at a swing spot. Ronzel Evans at the other. And Fidel Robinson will go in the middle for the Lions of Paine College. They're coached by Darrell Stinson in his second year. For the Dragons of Lane College, Brian Bazemore in his 6 years as head coach. He'll go with this lineup. Jalen Lewis as a swing position. Tevin Roberts, the senior guard. It'll be Brandon Dancho at one of the swing positions. Josh Smith-Levi at another swing. And the SIAC all-conference player, Kendarius Ash, will be in the 5th spot for the Dragons in this basketball contest. Players at midcourt, officials for today's ball game, Terry Ware, Scott Richards, and Art Volk with the play call. Still in opening round play in the SIAC tournament. 5 on tap today. This is the first of 5. The winner of this ball game advancing to the quarterfinal round. So just about set to begin here inside Bill Harris Arena. Looks like there's going to be a technical foul called against the Dragons of Lane College. And Dragons were late getting out to the floor, and in addition to that, late getting the scorer's book over to the officials. So they get hit with a technical foul. And at the line shooting it was Babe Murphy. Murphy missed on that. So now with all the pomp out of the way, or circumstance, we'll get to basketball action. It will be Robinson getting set to jump for the Lions of Paine College. And he will be met in the center circle by Brandon Danso for the Dragons of Lane. Just about set to get going. Glad you could join us on our coverage here on HBCU Game Day. And we're underway. Dragons have first crack at it on offense. That's Tevin Roberts, the senior. They dump it straight down low at the block and go right onto the inside as Jalen Lewis, the senior from Atlanta, gets the game's first points of the contest for the Dragons of Lane. Teams met once during the course of the regular season, way back on the 2017 side of things. First turnover of the ball game for the Lions. Back the other way now at the block, right side, Kendarius Ash. Tied up inside, and the Dragons take it away. Bide up the floor and leading the pack. Missed on the lay-in was Evans, but a call coming in after the missed attempt by Ronzel Evans for the Lions of Paine. They'll call that against Brandon Danso, the 6'7", 230-pound forward for the Dragons from Antioch, Tennessee. 5 points, 4 rebounds for him. First foul in the basketball game. Danso picks it up. That will send Evans to the line to shoot. And Evans, the junior from Fort Myers, Florida, rattles and drops the first free throw for the Lions. Evans, just 46% from the free throw line during the course of the season, knocks them both down there. Tied at 2 apiece, just underway on HBCU Game Day, live at the 2018 SIAC basketball tournament. Out front now, that's Josh Smith-Levi. At the block, Ash looking for some space, steps on the inbound line, and we go back the other way. So turnover number 2 there for the Dragons of Lane College. Not quite sure why the Dragons showed up on the court late. They were here already in the dressing room. Just may have lost track of the time. The technical foul called at the beginning of the ball game, missed by the Lions, so really no harm there for the Dragons for their late appearance. Right block now, Robinson with a quick step to the inside, missed on the dunk, but a foul coming in from behind. Smith Levi, the senior from Jackson, Tennessee, commits the foul for the Dragons, and that will send Fidel Robinson to the line to shoot for the Lions of Paine. Robinson joined the team in the second half of the season, put up some good numbers for the Lions. In 15 games, averaging 11 points per ball game and 7 rebounds per outing. Missed on the first free throw and has a second coming here. Robinson rattles and missed the second as well. Still tied at 2. Dragons back the other way now. Ash handles out front. Smith Levi now on the weave. It's the senior Tevin Roberts. Roberts works it right side. Back out to Ash, 14 to shoot. Left side with the jumper, Smith Levi bangs it home just inside the arc for 2 for the Dragons of Lane College. So Smith Levi with a good square look at the basket and dropped it there for Lane. They lead it 4-2. Whistles on the penetration there by Sam Bide, and they're going to get Tevin Roberts for his first. Note that Tevin Roberts, the senior for the Dragons, is playing with a meniscus tear. He's a senior, and he's been told that it won't get any worse, so without any more eligibility, Roberts is deciding to go with it and is playing through the pain. Out front, they try to trap by. They go down low. Robinson, nice move underneath the rack, and he got the lay-in.
Charles, do you notice a little more energy in here this morning?
Yeah.
Got a nice group of, I think these are high school kids. There was a college fair earlier today, and they are doing their part of the bargain there.
They are here in full throat. Right corner, Roberts on the move now. At the block, Ash, 9 to shoot. Smith Levi on the push. Over to Roberts, 6 to shoot now. Up top, that's Lewis with the jumper. Rattled it. Spinner falls good for Lewis and the Dragons.
That touched every part of the rim before finding its way home.
Yeah, he was checking all of it. 6-4, Dragons with the early lead. Bide trying to push right side and a whistle away from the basketball. And call a foul on the inside against the Lions of Paine College. They call it on Robinson, and he picks up his first. It's a good added feature to the SIAC tournament. They've been doing it for years, is the College Day opportunity for students in the metro at Birmingham area to really size up some of the SIAC schools with consideration of going there after they're done.
Well, look, these are potential ticket buyers 10, 15 years from now. Look, we all don't live forever. We come, we do our time in the stands, and there's a generation after us. So you got to keep marketing your product constantly.
Ash inside the paint, quick turn on the jumper by him, missed on the shot.
Oh, boy.
Crash inside the paint. Ash hit it hard, but comes right up off the surface.
I tell you, Ash has never met a collision that he didn't like. Boy.
Took a hard fall there. He and Sam Bide kind of tied up there.
You know, to be a rebounder like he is, Charles, it takes a special mindset to know that each and every time you just want to get in there and you do not mind the contact at all.
12.7 caroms per ball game for Ash. He'll try to inbound it. That's so deep in the corner. Now back out front is Jade Patrick, who just got on the floor now for Coach Bazemore and the Dragons.
Didn't
Patrick
like the
working
first
the screen, right side.
They got a couple of picks there trying to make something happen.
Shonda Sanders on the floor on that timeout, on that delayed game, and now he lost the basketball. Turnover to the Lions of Paine College. Now in the front court, Murph almost loses it for Paine.
Hey, he's on my all-name team, Babe Murphy.
And guess what we have right now, Tolly?
That's your buddy. You were talking to that official before the game. Why didn't you give him the memo? You guys were over here talking about family and American ideals, and you did not tell him anything about the carry.
Oh, you're putting it on me, right? Right out of the block.
Make basketball great again, Charles. Come on.
Right out of the block, I get the fault. 6-4 Dragons lead. Out front there with the jumper. Shots off the mark by Patrick. Bide, quick step by him. Not able to take advantage of it, though.
And that's all you need to get the kids in the crowd. They love a crossover. Even if you don't score any points, you get bonus points with them.
Ash coming away with a steal from Bide. He'll try to run the floor left side. Now the junior waits, and he gives it over to Patrick. And
that was a push in the back.
Sanders on the shot, and that one's off the mark.
Yeah, push in the back there on that, going for the rebound.
So it'll be side out or right or left of the center for the Dragons to inbound the basketball. Dwight Wheatley set to come in for the Lions Paine College, sophomore from Nassau, Bahamas. Boy, I wish I were there.
That wouldn't be a bad place to be, would it?
6'7", 230. There's a lot of shade on that island. Wheatley hit 6'7". Out front, that's Sanders drilling a three-pointer for the Dragons just in front of the Paine bench.
I see what you did there. A lot of shade.
I'm working, trying to catch up with you. 9-4. Dragons with the early lead. At the block they go to Robinson. Squared up defensively there by Denso. Now out front, that's Cameron Gaines, who just got on the floor for the Lions. Yeah. And a whistle on the play. Going to have a push-off there by Babe Murphy.
Yeah, that was plain as day right there. Stick that forearm out.
First TV timeout, HBCU game day timeout here. We'll stay 9-4 lead for the Dragons over the Lions.
Yeah, we have such a busy day. Let's kind of set the table for everything that we have here. We have the Rocky Balboa Clubber Lang matchup, the prediction of Paine. Lane versus Paine. I just wanted to say that somehow. And it's a nice mix here. We go men's action, women's action, men's action. So we kind of alternate, and we have Claflin versus Lane that's coming up after this one. It's going to be 2:30 Central Time. And then our third of 5 games will be Claflin again. Claflin this time on the men's side will take on Tuskegee. So we had some very entertaining basketball from the Tuskegee women last night. We'll see if the men will be equally as entertaining. A game, if you missed it last night, go watch the replay on YouTube. Did Benedict get the 40 turnovers?
Didn't make the 40, but they had a good 39.
39 turnovers.
Felt like 40.
And they got the win. But Tuskegee left, the last call I remember was at least 17 points they left at the free throw line.
Indeed they did.
Yeah, and first day, we got away with no upsets, right?
Yeah.
No upset.
Cleared the table without it. You're right.
Yeah, we went chalk yesterday, so.
Can't guarantee it today, though.
Nope. Cinderella might show up with the glass slipper today. It will. We will definitely find out. But thank you if you tuned in yesterday or just tuning in today here at HBCU Game Day. Each game will be its own individual stream. So if you're watching on YouTube, when this game ends, we're going to flip over to a new stream. So you'll just need to catch up with us a little bit so that when you go back and watch these games, you can watch them individually a la carte instead of the smorgasbord.
There's our word. We created that word yesterday. Turnover there by Patrick trying to get it in the corner to Ash.
Well, brought it back to life maybe.
Yeah, I'm like Al Gore. I created the internet. I created that word.
Dare you disrespect Al Gore's internet. Yeah.
Out front, that's Robinson off the bench for the Lions handling the basketball. Now Gaines tied up in the corner. They shoot it out front there to Whittington. He fires the jumper, missed on it out front. Tapped around, Ash clears another rebound for the Dragons. Across the floor now, Patrick, nice move by him. Can't get the shot off though. Left block, Ash. Down, nice passing there by the Dragons inside and around the perimeter. 13 to shoot. They work it down in the corner now. That's Denso.
Well, there's some aggressive defense going on out there right now.
Sanders with an open look from behind the arc, missed on the shot. Lions back the other way. Robinson just threw it away. Turnover number 6 for the Lions. Back
Oh!
the other way. Good rejection inside, but a good follow there by Danso. Danso got the lay-in, drew the foul. He'll be at the line shooting.
That was a good effort. That was the LeBron James chase down block, but better effort on the part of Lane, who stuck with the play, got the bucket and the foul.
Gaines with a good block on that, but as you indicate, Tolly, good follow-up by the Dragons. They'll go to the line. Extend their lead 11-4 on the lay-in. And now Danso will be at the line shooting here. Chance for the three-point play.
No white jerseys out there today, so both teams in there. We got the red of Lane and the purple of Paine. So if you're a viewer like myself, Lane is the home team. I always look for the white jersey. Where's the white jersey?
The challenge here, and I don't know if you saw it, because I think you left the table to try to see if you can find some storyline for us, but there was an administrative tech against the Dragons coming to start this basketball game. It could have been for a variety of things. One that you just pointed out that I wasn't aware of, that they're both in dark-colored uniforms. Second, they were late coming onto the floor. And third, they had not gotten the scorer's book over to the table. So a smorgasbord of opportunities for that administrative tech.
That brings new meaning to the word triple threat there.
And the Lions actually missed the technical foul. So
it was all for naught.
Sure. Half court set for the Lions. 8 to shoot now. Out front with the basketball is Joshua Holiday, the junior from Atlanta. They work it down in the paint. Basketball out of bounds. That's going to be a shot clock violation, though. Or the basketball may have gone out of bounds before the violation. We'll see. At best, they may be able to put a second on that clock. If anything, probably less than that. It was timed so perfectly that the basketball went out of bounds and the shot clock violation horn went off.
Yeah. Josh Smith-Levi is a little gimpy. He's going to head over to the bench. The shot clock is at 30.
Not sure. Well, that's what they're going to go with. They're going to go full 30 back on the clock. Lions got a break there. This basketball did not hit the cylinder, I don't believe. I think it went out of bounds, but I don't know that was the reason for the reset. Arch Green out front there by Wheatley. Shots off the mark, but a rebound snatched away there by Ash for the Dragons. Right side, he'll push Roberts. Roberts slides the paint, floater to the rack. Shots off the mark, but there for its own rebound. Back out to Patrick. His shot did not touch cylinder, so shot clock now at 15. Challenging on the inside is Jawan Curry. Jawan Curry, the freshman from Detroit, Michigan. He'll be fouled. He'll go to the line.
You know, we talked about the uniforms just a few minutes ago. I remember during football season, a team got a flag because they had white letters on white, or there wasn't enough contrast between their letters and their. Was it FAMU? I can't remember, but that did happen this year. So you have to be. The referees are also fashion police as part of the job description.
A little picky on that one there, huh?
Yeah. Well, they got to see. They got to see it. And if they can't, they're going to send the message.
Curry from the line. Got one of two there. 12-4 lead for the Dragons of Lane College. They're the second team in the West against the Lions, number 7 in the East. Wheatley works it over to Holiday. Back near the mid-stripe, almost crossed over. Foul line extended. The shot by Nelms partially deflected there. Up front by Ash. Aggressive defense by the Dragons.
Tell me if I'm wrong. Yesterday it seemed like that was easy. Yesterday it seemed like all the teams were taking some time to get their sea legs back. These teams out here look like they're in mid-season form.
Sure, I think you're right. That's a quicker start for these teams, no question. Double up front. They work it down at the block. Jumping back I think he crisped the rim there, but the rebound goes to the Dragons anyway.
Yeah,
shot was off by Whittington. Roberts works the foul line. Pushes back out front to Ash. 12:40 remains first half. Day 2 of opening round of the SIAC tournament. Ash pushes a jumper, foul line extended, and he missed there. Rebound to the Lions. Holiday across the timeline. Left side, Whittington with the basketball. Guarded defensively by Miles Lee, the sophomore, who just got on the floor. Left side, they work it in the paint to Wheatley and a whistle on the play. Wheatley created the contact there.
Man, I can't say enough about how aggressive these teams are defensively. I mean, they are all over the place. They are in passing lanes. Nobody is sitting back in any comfort zone, literally or figuratively.
When you think about it, for both of these teams, for the Dragons, even though they finished second in the West, and for the Lions, seventh in the East, these teams are really, in theory, Tolly, playing up. Right. Because the Dragons, although they were second in the West, really no team in that division of the conference over 500. So they know that it's an opportunity for them in this tournament to really shine and then really knock down one of these stronger teams coming out of East if they can stay in this tournament and play above what their records indicated from that division. And for the Lions, absolutely nothing for them to lose here.
Yeah, and Lane, they came out with energy and enthusiasm. You can see it on the bench. They are congratulating teammates and showing passion on every play, every hustle that's going on out there. And right now it reflects on the scoreboard. It's still early, but a 12-4 game, and Lane has gotten the better of Paine so far. Lane and Paine.
So Lane issuing the pain to Paine.
Hey, I'd like to remind everyone, a special program here, the Home Depot's Retool Your School Campus Improvement Grant Program. Well, it's back, and with $360,000 up for grabs for 9 lucky HBCUs, will your school be a winner? You can learn more at retoolyourschool.com, and that's been going on for quite a while, a great program for Home Depot, and a lot of schools able to benefit from that program.
Certainly. A lot of schools, certainly in terms of some of the beautification that takes place on the campus. That's what a lot of that money is used for, and then a lot of other uses as well.
Yeah. Went down to your old school, FAMU, for the first time this past football season. Beautiful campus down there, Charles.
Yeah, doing some wonderful things down there. Roberts works it up top. Curry handles now. Out front now, Patrick, left corner. Miles with the jumper. Missed on the shot, but Ash with the long arms there corrals that rebound.
Who else gets the rebound?
It's almost 13 rebounds a ball game for him. It's just incredible.
Share some of that with your teammates, man. Give them some stats.
Up top, Miles will try it again with the jumper. That one's off mark, and the rebound cleared by the Lions of Paine.
Great ball movement. Just couldn't hit the shot.
Left corner now. Now they push it inside with the pass to Nelms and a whistle.
Yeah, and with Ash waiting for you down there in the paint, you get the ball, and then the next thing that pops into your mind, what am I going to do with it?
I want to revisit that comment we were making about with regard to the West in terms of them actually playing up in this tournament. You know, I cover the ball games for Morehouse College, and when Lane came to town, I had a real extensive conversation with Coach Bazemore, and he was talking about that very point. It's not that the West is bad. It's just it's so good in the East this year for the SIAC that everybody on that West was kind of looking to see if these teams would filter each other out, and then they'll take a shot at who's standing.
Right. Exactly.
Jumper, right side. That one's off the mark by Whittington.
Kind of like the Cavaliers' philosophy. You guys beat each other up in the West. Who's ever standing, maybe we'll have a shot in the finals.
Sure. Patrick now surveys with 11 minutes remaining and a whistle on the play. Foul down inside the paint. I think that's Roberts pushing off. Correct.
Well, a lot of aggression down in the paint, but from behind the line, things haven't gone as well.
So Roberts picks up his second personal here. And 10:55 remaining first half. Left side Murphy, doubled there. Pushes down in the corner to Whittington. Just an aggressive, tenacious defense by the Dragons. Whittington with the three-pointer, hit the back of the iron. The long rebound as Murphy and Ash collide.
For both teams, it's just so hard to get a shot. When you get it, it's like, please make it. I mean, look at the effort that it goes into finding an open man out here.
They found one underneath there. This time it's Nelms who got free for the lay-in and drew the foul. But you are right, Tolly. The defense is just so spot on.
Both teams. I mean, they are aggressive. Nothing They're not conceding anything out there.
Nelms to the line to shoot. Converted on the lay-in. Cuts that Dragon lead to 6 points. Chance to take it to 5 with a free throw.
I like Coach Bazemore's approach. He's got the tracksuit. I think part of him wants to get out on the court himself.
Still leads me to wonder a little bit about the apparel for the team. If something may have happened, they didn't have the right uniform, and his suits may have been there with it.
Oh, well.
Or he may just be changing up his style for the tournament.
Could be the case.
Wandering minds would like to know. Out front now, Sanders handles.
I think of a casual way to bring that up.
I'm sure you will.
So, the tracksuit.
Sanders drops a three-pointer there for the Dragons. I'm certain that, Mr. Tolley, you'll get that in.
I'll just bring him over here post-game, let you handle it.
Oh, yeah. Throw me under the bus, right? Murphy out front. He missed on that shot. Rebound to the Dragons now. They go back the other way. Left corner once again. Sanders with the jumper. The rimmer's off the mark, but there's long arm Ash with the rebound. Up front, adds Lewis. Right side to the cylinder. That shot's off the mark. Babe with the break pass up the floor to Bide, and Bide with the flush for the Lions.
Finally an easy bucket. Got it behind the defense there and finished strong.
15-8 after the dunk the other way, and now there's a steal there by the Lions. The whistles on the play. Bide guilty of the double.
You know, to save a little word efficiency on your part, since we have 5 games today, unless someone besides Ash gets the rebound, just say rebound lane. we'll know it's him.
Right. That's safe. You're right.
He gets all of them. So unless otherwise noted, it was Ash on the rebound.
Got it, right. Out front now, Miles Lee handles. 9 minutes left, first half. 15-8 lead for the Dragons. 15 to shoot. Dump it down at the block right side. Shots off the mark by Lewis. Whistles down low. Basketball over to the Lions of Paine. So Lewis just a little too deep there and shot that basketball to the side of the backboard. Lane right now 6 of 18 from the floor. And the Lions 3 of 11. Out front there. Bide almost gave it away. Now there is a turnover there. Miles Lee has it. He works it over to Ash. Ash floats the lane with a right-hand shot, popped in and out of there for him. Rebound comes back out front, and it's going to go back over to the Dragons. It'll be Sanders with a 3. Shots off the mark.
Almost a chance for a 4-point play.
Yep.
And we still have that Neapolitan selection of three-point lines out there. We got everything from college all the way back to the NBA line.
And we heard Coach Watson yesterday talking about the fact that some of his guys were shooting it from behind the NBA line.
Hey, man, might be some scouts here.
To his dismay.
Got to show your stuff.
From the line, Bide.
Or at least we forget you're playing on HBCU game day. The people out there, they can see the line. Look right there, it is. You can
right
see
there,
the line.
right. Good camera shot there, right on top of it.
Show everybody at home, I have range.
Whittington out of the basketball game now for the Lions. Bide missed on the first. Well, got all 3 from the line to strip. So Bide with those 3 free throws makes it an 18-8 lead for the Dragons. Bide, left side Murphy, doubled immediately. Right side now they go to Gaines. Gaines with a floater inside the paint, missed, but there's a tap inside by Fidel Robinson. So Robinson with some good work left side of the block to follow that. First 2 of 4, and he's got 4 in the ball game now for Robinson. Scored 1 earlier. 7:52 left first half. Ash works it left side, down in the corner to Danso. Danso with the jumper. That one's off the mark. Lions clear. They go back the other way.
chance to pull a little closer here. They got it back down to 8. Still plenty of time to go here in the first half, but you don't want things to hit that psychological double digit.
Murphy floats left side, missed on the shot. Dragons fighting for the rebound, and the rebound to Lane.
You know who.
Underneath, Ash is fouled. He'll go to the free throw line.
Look at over there. How many does he have already?
Ash already with 11 rebounds. Wow. Timeout on the floor. 7:19 left in the first half. 18-10 lead for the Dragons. We step out for a break here.
Yep, we'll go to break, and you're listening and watching the 2018 SIAC Tournament on HBCU Game Day.
On the field, behind the basket, in the press box. Bringing you HBCU sports like you've never seen it before. Anyone who has ever been to a sporting event at an HBCU knows that it is just that, an event. The band, the cheerleaders, it's a complete show. The game day experience at HBCUs is truly unique. No media outlet does a better job at capturing that experience than HBCU Game Day.
From there, it was just an instant classic. It was a great basketball game.
Follow us online at hbcugameday.com, on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. You can also find us on Fire TV, Roku, and YouTube. Just do a keyword search, HBCU Game Day. We are leading the conversation on sports culture at HBCUs. We are HBCU Game Day.
Back live inside Bill Harris Arena. Second day of SIAC tournament coverage still in the opening round. Men's action, the Lions of Paine College ranked 7th in the East, and the number 2 team in the West, the Dragons of Lane College, vying for a chance for quarterfinal play. Winner will advance in the tournament. Glad you could join us for our coverage. Charles Ward, Tolly Carr.
Yeah, I'd like to say hello to everyone watching us on Twitter. We threw it up on our Twitter live stream today as well. So we're on hbcugameday.com. We're on YouTube today. We're on Fire TV with the HBCU Game Day app. And good morning to everyone on Twitter as well. Just stretching it out here with our exclusive coverage of this year's tournament.
I'm going to say to you what you said to me a few minutes ago, just to conserve some of your vocals because we got 5 games. Just say HBCU Game Day is everywhere.
We are.
Ash, 1 of 2 from the line there, making a 19-10 lead for the Dragons. As Bide comes across the mid-stripe, over to Murphy with the pass. They try the entry pass. Robinson, and it's thrown away. Here come the Dragons with a 3-on-2. Right side, Ash with the lay-in. Nicely done right side.
He was well above the square up there.
Thought he was going to flush that one, but went nicely to the glass right side. Extend the lead now, 21-10. Dragons.
I don't know if we'll get it, but if we get an Ash and Morris matchup,
boy, wouldn't that be nice?
I might just go buy a ticket and sit up there and enjoy it.
Check with me later on, right?
Yeah. Talking about Brandon Morris from Benedict, man, probably the 2 best big men in the conference.
Basket on the other end by Murphy, nicely done by him. 21-12 lead now. Miles Lee fires a triple and drains it right corner for the Dragons.
Yep, that offensive efficiency starting to pick up with that defensive intensity out there. Could spell trouble for Paine.
Lead is a dozen now for the Dragons. Lions dump it down low. Robinson. Fidel missed on the shot. There's another rebound by Lane. Ash across the timeline now. Give him 12 rebounds early in this basketball game.
Man, he might have 20-plus rebounds before it's over with.
Up top, Miles Lee again for 3. Banked it, but he missed there, and a whistle down low. I think they're going to call that foul on Nelms for the Lions of Paine. And that will send DeJuan Curry to the line for the Dragons. Curry, the freshman from Detroit, shooting here. Curry, 1 of 2 from the free throw line.
Might have to rethink our production strategy. Mount a camera up on the backboard. Just call it Ash Cam. Just watch him clean the glass up there, man.
Nice call.
You know, here at the Bill Harris Arena, they do have to clean the backboard every night. I think he could save them some time. Just some Windex and a mitt, and he'll get up there.
Kendarius Ash, right?
He'll do it pretty fast for you.
So Curry with the second of 2 coming. And he's good on both. So Curry with 3 points, all from the line here. 27-12. Lions got to be very careful here because the Dragons starting to build that lead. Good aggressive defense there by Sanders.
No, by Toby Durham. That ball came over here towards the equipment.
Sanders
Look, he just got recruited. Sanders saw the fast twitch muscles that Toby exhibited. You have some eligibility, Toby? No?
The goatee says no.
I don't know, man. You look like you could play the passing lane the way you jumped over there to save that antenna.
So good work there by Sanders at the sideline to get that turnover for the Dragons lane. That's the 10th turnover in this first half for the Lions.
Man, we need Ash Cam and Toby Cam.
Toby with the hands. Ash at the block left side. Saved the equipment a couple of times on yesterday.
He's looking to work here. Just work too far under the basket.
Basketball over to the Lions after that turnover by Ash. Murphy almost out of bounds. Fired a bullet there inside the Gaines. And a foul going to be called there as 2 Dragons converged on Gaines. He'll go to the free throw line.
That lead is starting to creep on up there, Charles. 27-12 now in favor of Lane. And you know,
the thing the Lions got to really keep an eye on. They got to stay close here.
When it comes to tournament time, all it takes is for one team to get hot and do some things that, and a lot of times there can be one player that can carry you for a couple of days.
Gaines good on the first free throw here. Has one more coming. His first 2 points of the ball game for the Lions comes from the free throw line. We go down to 5:10 left first half. This is Jade Patrick, the senior from Nashville, Tennessee, handling the basketball now. He'll work at the right side. Got a lane that way. Now it closes. Back out Sanders behind the arc. Down to the block to Ash. A bit away from the basket there, though. Robinson guarding defensively. 6 to shoot. Ash going to be forced to take it now. Floats it inside the paint. Just at the buzzer. Kendarius Ash with the jumper.
Living on a prayer. That was answered.
Indeed. So Ash now with 5 points in the ball game, along with his 12 rebounds. Robinson inside. Nice work by him with the floating shot right side.
Yep, little baby hook. That's hard to guard.
Robinson joining this team second half of the season for the Lions, and he's been a real welcome addition for them.
Yeah, wouldn't mind rubbing off some picks that he sets for you.
Yep. Ash underneath, hard to the rack. They're going to wave that off before the shot there.
Man, no continuation in college.
Maybe Gaines with that foul. Coach Bazemore's getting set to send Danso back out on the floor. With Ash at the free throw line, looks like he'll be taking Kendarius' place in the lineup. Ash voted to the All-SIAC basketball team. That'll make him a 3-time All-Conference player.
Yeah, I think you could have wrote his name in there on October 1st and been pretty safe with that.
Sure. A couple of players in this conference that, you know, even prior to the season starting,
Brandon Morris, Tyrese Walker.
Sure. Darius Ash for sure. And all of these players on stage here at the 2018 SIAC basketball tournament. Good from the free throw line.
Yep, and they've almost doubled Paine up here.
So Danso back out on the floor now. Dragons 9 of 24 from the floor. Bide across the timeline, guarded out front aggressively by Patrick. Now Gaines is doubled. They push it across the floor. On the move now is Whittington. Floater inside the paint, off the mark. Rebound to Lewis. Quickly up the floor. Bounce pass slipping down. and they recover with it, though. The Dragons go to half-court set. At the block, Lewis, hard turn by him. Floater with the right hand. That one's off the mark. And here come the Lions. Whittington, left side. Murphy, left corner for three. On target.
Yep, that looked good the moment it left Babe Murphy's hand, and it was all nets.
Nice shot, Babe.
We had Bay yesterday. We got Babe today.
Out front now. Dragons with it. They have a 30-19 lead. Firing a three-pointer out front. That one's off the mark by Patrick.
Ooh.
Hard tumble there. Basketball trickles out of bounds. Murphy and Danso giving a good aggressive chase for that basketball.
Yep, that was a lot of skin meeting the floor there. That'll leave a strawberry. So with 3:05 remaining in the first half, we're going to a media timeout. You score 30-19, Lane over Paine. We'll be back in a minute.
Quincy January, senior from St. Augustine's University, power forward, sport management major from Riverdale, Georgia.
Christian Kirchman, I'm point guard here at Smith, and I'm from Roanoke, Virginia.
Robert Davis, shooting guard here at Johnson C. Smith University. I'm from West Friendship, Maryland.
Ramel Bellfield, I was born and raised in Roanoke Rapids, North Carolina. And I'm here shooting guard, senior at Livingstone. We real competitive, man.
Yeah.
He
Cutting
know
with each other,
yeah. One-on-one shooting games.
You can't beat me in nothing.
Yeah. Don't let him fool you out here, man.
The one thing that I'm for sure going to say is that we want to see that win a championship. That's my main focus. So that's the one thing that I can always carry over with me because they can't take that away from me.
Everything you try to hide behind during the season, it comes out at the tournament. So if you're a dog, you're going to be a dog. If you pretend to be a dog, you can show up the biggest cat in that arena. So I'm ready to see what them dogs are.
And we do hope that you check out the Players Club on the HBCU Game Day digital platform. And here at the SIAC, if you want to take home a souvenir from this year's tournament, you can download your official SIAC championship program at thesiac.com.
Back to live action. Dragons half-court set with the 30-19 lead. Sanders out front. Pops a three-pointer and drops it there for the Dragons. So Sanders now with that basket, up to 12 points for the Dragons lane. 3 of 6 from behind the arc for Sanders, and a whistle on the play. Travel violation there by Cameron Gaines, the freshman from Paine College. And turnover number 13 sends the basketball back over to the Dragons.
Yep, maybe a little more time in the weight room if you want to split that double team.
Yeah.
He hit that wall, and that wall didn't move. A few more squats, young Cameron.
Roberts back out on the floor playing with the 2 fouls. With 2:27 remaining first half. Sanders picked up by Murphy. 13 to shoot for the Dragons. Roberts circles up top. He'll push hard right side all the way through. Nice floater by him. Can't get it to fall though. But there with the backside rebound and put back is the senior Jalen Lewis.
That was a rebound not by Ash and a putback.
Robinson pushes the basketball right side to Whittington. Dragons have dropped back into a 2-3 zone, and Robinson makes them pay for leaving him alone. He drains the 3 for the Lions.
Hey, if we're keeping count, that was an NBA 3. He was behind the blue line.
Yep. So first points of the ball game for Robinson, NBA style.
Yeah, he let that form hang a little bit to let you know.
35-22, Dragons with the comfortable lead. Robinson over to Lewis. Lewis with the soft jumper, foul line extended, rattled, but he missed. Murphy across the floor now, can't save the basketball. Hard fall there by Robinson.
Yeah, Babe Murphy was more like Babe Ruth from the outfield on that pass.
Ash set to come back in.
Okay, the horn works.
Taking the seat is Danso. Dragons will have the basketball with 1:24 remaining in a quick-moving first half here, Tolly.
Yeah, not much stoppage of action until we get to the dead ball timeouts, with the exception of whatever's happening here. But it's been a up and down ball game. Hey, look, Ash has got to get his rebounds, man. They got to get shots up.
No doubt. Let's just get this thing going, huh?
He's got a quota to meet.
Just excited about the 5 ball games that we have on tap today. And we talked about it on yesterday. As the tournament just continues to unfold, you start to see the quality of the play just go up and up and up.
Yep,
we're seeing this in this first ball game today, that the tenacity level has been high for both these teams starting this contest. Down low at the blocks, leaning in, stretching that body was Lewis. Not able to get that basketball to fall, but we'll have a whistle on the Dragon end of the floor.
Yep, we had a double dose Monday. We had a double dose of Benedict yesterday. We're going to have a double dose of Claflin today. So a lot of schools getting to see their men and women play back-to-back. So we had a double dose of Fort Valley yesterday as well. Yeah, Fort Valley Benedict was our double dosage yesterday.
First free throw was missed there by Lewis.
But all the big guns come out tomorrow, Charles.
Indeed they do.
All #1 seeds get to come out and play, and the rubber will officially meet the road here in Birmingham.
We start meeting it, that's for sure. Across the timeline is Robinson left side. 60 seconds left, first half of play. On a weave, and it stays with the Lions there on the floor. Shot clock will work its way down to 15 as Josh Smith-Levi makes it back out on the floor now for the Dragons. Dragons second in the West. Second only to the Badgers of Spring Hill, which they are making their early notifications as the jumper in the corner is drained by Whittington, that once they start to become eligible for tournament play, that they are going to be a team to be reckoned with.
Yep, that's their version of watch out now.
Sure. Watch out there now. Ash with the jumper. Good-looking jumper there by him. He knocks that down.
If he can start to hit that in this game, it's going to be really hard to guard him.
Ash with 6 points. Out front again with the jumper. That one's off the mark by Whittington, but they get the long rebound. Left side on the move is Holiday to the rack. Shots off the mark. He'll chase it down with 6 seconds left. Entry pass Gaines. Yeah. Gaines to the rack. He drew a foul with 2.3 seconds left first half.
Yeah, Paine got away with the traveling violation that I think everyone in the arena saw. But it's okay.
I missed it.
Ask the people over there in Section 9. They were all
right in front of it, right?
They were all signaling for it. Even Toby over here did the traveling call.
Gaines rattles and missed that first free throw. I think it's because we have monitors for almost everything here on the table. It's difficult to see over there. Gaines for the second of 2, and he got that to fall. So 37-25 with 2.3 seconds left. And Lane just taking this time out. This is the one that you won't be able to carry over into the second half. So with 2.3 seconds left, see if you can diagram something here to get a basket before the break.
I mean, they were down 15, going on 16. They've cut it back to 12. It feels like their offense has picked up a tad, but still not on the same page to the degree that Lane has been able to kind of pick up their offense, especially with Ash showing that he can step back and hit a jumper as well.
Stats really concur with you, Tolly, because the Lions have picked up their field goal percentage. Right now they're shooting at 39%, 9 of 23. It was south of 20% early in this basketball game.
Yeah. So the conditioning was there, the aggression was there. They just needed to find their touch a little bit. Looks like they're heading in that direction.
Roberts to inbound it.
They're going to pick up full court here. Don't want to give up anything easy.
They're just going to try to push it the length of the floor, see if somebody can grab it in the air. They can't, so it'll go
no
back
one
the other
touched
way.
the ball, so no time's going to come off the clock.
Sure. And Lane will have a shot at it here with 2.3 seconds left.
So it's going to go right back to the same spot, which is going to be advantageous for Paine.
Absolutely.
Maybe a chance for them to cut it down to 10, maybe 9. This would be huge.
That would be very encouraging going into that break. So we'll see if the Lions can help themselves.
Whoever their best shooter is probably going to come off at least 2 screens on this inbounds play to try to get a good look here.
Trying to get Philip Garner onto the floor, the junior from Atlanta. Garner on the season, 46 of 113 from behind the arc at 35%. So we'll see if they diagram something for him with the 2.3 remaining.
Well, first we're going to see if they're going to let him in. Yeah, okay.
Art Volk over there at the officials' table saying, yeah, okay, that's okay with me.
Yeah,
let him in.
They were playing a little red light, green light stop at the scorer's table.
Robinson looks to
One
the
screen,
inside.
2 screens.
Yeah, they did that, and then they throw it away. So the Dragons at the intermission, 37. The Lions of Paine College, 25.
Pretty good one. It's a double digits here on the deficit for Paine, but you know, if you're just looking at the entertainment value, look, both teams were out there hustling. They were playing hard, aggressive. I thought it was a good first half just to enjoy watching.
No question. Intensity level high for both teams. Certainly what you want to see come tournament time. Live at Bill Harris Arena at the break. It's a 37-25 lead for the Dragons of Lane College over the Lions of Paine College. We'll step out for a break here. Back with more on HBCU Game Day. We are back live at the Bill Harris Arena, second day of the SIAC basketball tournament. Still in the opening round. Men's action at the mid-stripe now at the midpoint as the Lions of Paine College and the Dragons of Lane College engaged in a good one. 37-25 at the break. Dragons with the lead. And Tolly, as we get set for the second half, we now know what the administrative tech was for the Dragons in pregame play.
Do tell.
I will tell. They were late submitting the roster to the official score. I think you have to have it somewhere around the 12-minute mark. And for the Dragons, they did not get it there until after all of the time had elapsed off the clock before pregame. So they got hit with the tech there. But as we were coming back from the first half play and getting set for the second half, we see that the apparel of Coach Bryant Bazemore has taken a dramatic step upward.
He has dropped the tracksuit. He has on his Tom Ford suit now. So he's got a clean pair of brown loafers over there and sans tie. He went without the tie, my type of guy. I didn't even bring a tie to Birmingham. No need to pale in comparison to Charles Ward over here. But, yeah, your eyes are not playing tricks on you. That is the same coach, just a different outfit.
So, you know, we made the comments early on that it may have been something with the team uniforms as to why that tech was issued. It was not for that. But apparently something with Coach Bazemore's apparel that was delayed, perhaps getting to him, or him getting to it, that he had to make that change at halftime.
Well, he is cleaned up now, and let's see if look good, feel good, coach good.
Right now they're clicking on all cylinders.
I like the Bob. What is Bob Huggins? Is he the kind of tracksuit coach? Cincy, or he's not at Cincinnati anymore. You remember Bob Huggins at West Virginia now.
You're always trying to throw these things on me, man.
Good
like
Lord,
I should remember
man,
this guy, right?
I guess if it does not happen in the state of Georgia, don't talk to Charles Ward about it.
Sure, it's just not happening.
My East Coast bias here, man, is just not going over well at all.
You got to give me a heads up, man, to find out about that.
No Charles Shackelford, no Huggy Bear. This is, oh, man.
We're back to live action in Birmingham, Alabama, and a whistle inside the paint. Lewis going to be hit with the first foul of the second half. Dragons in that first half of play, 13 of 32, 12 of 32 from the floor, 37%, 4 of 11 from behind the arc at 36% shooting, and 9 of 14 from the free throw line. For the Lions of Paine College, 9 of 23 at 39% shooting. How about that, Tolly? They actually had a higher percentage in that first half of play.
Well, talk about stats. We were pulling straws on how many rebounds Kadarius Ash would end up with. You're going with 19. I said 22. Toby says 24.
And we'll find this answer out somewhere in this second half of play.
No chance for a rebound there. Is that three-pointer's good?
Gaines got that one for the Lions. Half-court set now for the Dragons. Whistle on the play. Guarding too closely there is Babe Murphy.
I think it was foul away from the ball.
It was. You're right. Good call.
Yeah, the baseline official was looking away from the ball and saw a little contact there that was below the belt according to his standards.
Roberts out front now. Had the 2 fouls early in the first half, but has played with them well. Ash floats the lane, dumps it underneath and threw the basketball away. So the Lions now with the basketball. Just underway here, second half. Charles Ward, Tolly Carr, and Toby Durham from Raleigh handling our production. Inside the paint, basketball squeaks through and on the floor. And I think we've got a timeout with Dragons having the basketball. Yeah, Dragons got a hand on it, and they'll keep that basketball. So first half of play here from Bill Harris Arena in this opening round SIAC tournament. Turnovers, 16 for the Lions of Paine College, 9 for the Dragons. Points off of turnovers, 13 for the Dragons and 8 for the Lions of Paine College. Individual scoring in that first half. Tolly, go ahead. Sorry.
No, I was going to say we got a busy day coming up today. Claflin and Lane will be our next game. That's going to be at 2:30 Central Time. Some women's action, and we're going to follow that up with more action from the men and more action from Claflin as they take on Tuskegee. James Eads. Look, Tuskegee's record, you might look at it and be dismissive, but man, Eads, he's a lot to handle for Tuskegee.
Sure. Has not gotten a lot of help, but he is a one-person wrecking crew for the Golden Tigers.
Okay, I'm going to throw a name. I love to play this doppelganger game. When I see Eads, I think Orlando Woolridge. You do know Orlando Woolridge, right?
I do. I'm just trying to get to your comparison here.
Maybe it's just a resemblance, but when I see him, I'm like, hey, he kind of reminds me of Orlando Woolridge.
All right, I'll give you that one. That may be more of a physical thing there, too. You're right. Roberts across the timeline now, pushes through the paint. Floaters rejected on the inside. Good work there by Gaines, covering backside. Murphy out front now. Tries to dump it in low to Robinson to the rack. Shots off the mark by Robinson.
Yeah, a little wild on that hook right there.
They'll get a reset, though. Murphy with the jumper. That one's off the mark. There's Ash with rebound number 13 on his way to 19.
On his way to 22. I'm going to win that side bet.
Ash out front now. Well, I'm going to get you on the technicality at some point if you get closer. We're going to eliminate some of those. Roberts, nice job there squaring with the basket.
No, I don't want to hear about team rebounds or any of that stuff at all.
No, you haven't made the specification about offense or defense, so I'm going to pry into that if I'm wrong. Left side with the shot is by. It's off the mark. Tie up inside the paint. And this time the Lions have possession and they get a timeout. So Gaines underneath that pile, able to corral that basketball and get the timeout for the Lions of Paine.
Yeah, in those situations, timeouts are crucial, but I think it's just instinctive to basketball players when you don't have any other options and you feel like you have that leverage on the ball. Just timeout, 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 timeout.
Yeah, you never know. You probably get that call from the official.
Yeah, absolutely. So an 11-point game now is still early, just underway here. The day 2 of the 2018 SIAC tournament being brought to you exclusively on HBCU Game Day. We are on YouTube right now. We are on Fire TV right now. We are on Twitter right now. Or as Charles says, keep it simple. We are everywhere. So we thank you for joining us, and it's just beginning. 5 games today, and then we're going to roll into Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday night. Someone's going to be on that court right there dancing, being crowned as tournament champion.
Cutting away nets as well. Entry play and a foul there on the entry pass.
There was some discussion with Morehouse cut down the nets on the division title there on Thursday. Do you think they should have saved the scissors, or do you think that's a good call?
Well, you know, you celebrate as you go. Take them in stages. Turnover. There's Ash back the other way, free for the flush. Good defensive work led into that. There's a steal in the backcourt again. Lewis this time with the lay-in. So 4 quick points there for the Dragons in less than a minute.
Yeah, these are game-changing shifts in momentum here.
43-28. Ash with another steal there. Left side, Roberts. Roberts left it back for Ash, and Ash missed on the lay-in, but he drew a foul. Roberts trying to create a little showtime there by leaving that basketball behind for Kendarius Ash, but Ash not quite in position to conduct that flush on the follow.
Looking at Daryl Stinson, he doesn't look overly concerned. I'm sure inside he has a level of angst about what's going on, but still looks rather calm, even though his team has gotten a little sloppy here in the last couple of possessions.
Ash misses on the first. Bide takes a seat, and Robinson, the junior from Akron, Ohio, out on the floor for the Lions, wearing number 0. Ash for the second of 2. Better result there. 1 of 2 from the line. And the Dragons extend their lead 44-28. Full court pressure remains for the Dragons. Get the sense that Coach Paine, there's another turnover there. This time the spinning lay-in is good by Sanders.
Yeah, this full court pressure is giving Paine all sorts of pain.
Good. Back the other way, Garner to the rack. Whistles inside as bodies fall here on the floor at Bill Harris Arena.
I don't think there's any more discouraging set of sequences for a basketball player than not being able to get the ball inbounds or over half court.
Indeed. You're right. It can be very impactful in terms of your approach, your psychology.
I coached a group of fourth graders one time that won the little rec league championship, and we thought we were good. So we went to the state game to North Carolina and played an AAU team. I don't know if we ever got the ball over half court. So I speak from experience when I tell you how discouraging that can be.
Yeah, it's interesting. I was talking with Jasher Cox yesterday from Tuskegee, and he was coming to the arena yesterday and was watching his niece or his cousin playing in a tournament ball game here in Birmingham, state championship, I believe. And he was telling me that his relative scored, I think, 12 points. Somebody else on the team scored 14 points. And then he showed me the box score for the rest of the team. That was all they scored in the whole game.
Gosh. Yeoman's work there.
Yeah. They lost big time. Back the other way now. Robinson, half-court set now for the Lions.
But a proud uncle. He had something to talk about.
No question. Garner, jump shot by him, left side. Good job by him on the jumper.
Jasher Cox was one of the last people, along with Dennis Switzer, to leave the building last night. I took a photo evidence and posted it on Twitter there. Those two guys working hard past midnight.
Ash with the assist and Lewis with the finish on the lay-in. Here comes that trap in the backcourt. Gaines across the timeline for Paine. Floating left-handed shot by Gaines. They're gonna wave that off.
Well, good move there, but when you're set up in position to draw the charge, better defensive effort.
So Gaines picks up that personal, and that's going to be his first of the ball game. 15:36 remains. Timeout on the floor. Lane with a 48-31 lead over the Lions of Paine College. Back after the break on HBCU Game Day.
Today's broadcast of the 2018 SIAC tournament is brought to you by HBCU Game Day and powered by HBCU Live. I'd like to thank Toby and his company, HBCU Live, for providing the production, HBCU Game Day on the distribution, and a great partnership with the SIAC and Commissioner Gregory Moore.
Harumph.
What'd you say?
Harumph.
Now, see, you got me there.
That's a Blazing Saddles reference.
A little bit. I know what it is, but it's not committed to my memory banks. Just a little bit before TC's time here.
Ash on a miss. Floater, hard shot there by Gaines. Back the other way. That one's off the mark. There's rebound number 14 from Mr. Ash.
Yeah. On his way to 22.
Right corner jumper there. Off the mark by Denso. Had a good look. Not able to put it down. And we go back the other way now. Foul's going to be called on Roberts. That's going to be the senior's third for the Dragons of Lane College.
Yeah, Cameron Gaines, I think he's going to be a good player in the league.
Tell, can't you?
Yeah, he has the timing. He knows what to do, but he's a freshman. He needs to gain a little bit of weight. He's only 180 pounds at 6'8". If he can get on the north side of 200, he's going to be a guy to contend with physically.
Another turnover there by the Lions. And another basket there by the Dragons. 50-31 now. Things starting to take shape in this ball game as Garner tries for a three-pointer. That one's off the mark. Rebound number 15 for Mr. Ack. Inside the paint, trying to change the direction. Correction now. He's up to 16 rebounds in this basketball game.
He knows his number. Best way to beat the press, you can't do it dribbling. You got to be patient, and you got to pass the ball.
Pass in the corner there to Whittington. He'll go to the rack and a whistle inside the paint. Call the foul on Ash. That's his second personal.
But the one thing that happens with that pressure, Charles, as the offensive player, that timer in your head, you know you got 10 seconds to get it over, but it's moving much faster than real time. In your head, it's not 1, 2, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hurry, hurry, hurry.
That's exactly the speed. Whittington at the line shooting here. Back of the iron on the first. Lions now 6 of 13 from the free throw line. Just under 50%. 1 of 2 from the line there for Whittington. Whittington, third point of the ball game.
Paine trying to apply some three-quarters court pressure here, not quite as aggressive as Lane's is.
Left side, Patrick. Nice dish at the block. There's the easy lay-in by Lewis, left side.
Yeah, I think I want to dunk it. I don't think I want to dunk it. I'll do a mixture of both.
Lewis with 13 points in the ball game after the lay-in. Whistles. Sanders with the foul there, trailing that play for the Dragons. 13:51 remains. Lead up to 20 now for the Dragons Lane College. Robinson pushes the paint. Left block. Nelms lost it. Lions back the other way. Patrick right side. Lead behind for Sanders for 3. Front of the iron. Rebound cleared. Nelms. And a technical foul called against head coach Brian Bazemore.
Yeah, the one thing that you have when the fans are a little bit quiet, you can clearly hear what the coach is saying. You don't get that muffle effect of
Sure. No, what'd you say type thing,
no,
right?
no, it's I heard that, and I have something for you.
And it was
Go
just
ahead.
delivered.
Yeah, go ahead and take this technical with you.
Coach Bazemore gets hit with the tee, and that will send Garner. In fact, what we're getting from the PA announcer is that the technical foul was called on Tevin Roberts from the bench.
Oh, wow.
And Roberts, with that foul,
And
has fouled out of the basketball
yeah,
game.
and the technicals now count as personals. It's been that way for a while now. Not when we were growing up. It wasn't that way, but it has since been that way for the last few years.
So Garner got both free throws on the technical, and the Lions will have the basketball as well. So Roberts with an abrupt departure from this basketball game. Whittington in the backcourt now. 13:25 left in the contest. Left flank. On the move, Garner now pushes back out to Whittington. He'll drive hard at the block and threw it away. Got a block underneath. That foul coming after the basketball was actually passed back outside to the perimeter. So Danso's charged with that foul. And that will send Whittington back to the line for the Lions of Paine College.
Yeah, I don't see what Paine can do differently to improve their chances here other than Lane not be as good as they have been.
Sure, some self-destruction on
If
behalf
that makes
of the
any
Dragons.
sense.
Might help. Bide back out on the floor now for Lane, or for the Lions of Paine College. And out on the floor is Joshua Holliday as well.
This is just such a poetic game. Lane Paine.
So you can see how good I was at poetry as I continue to mix them up.
Nothing mundane about this game with Lane and Paine.
Ash across the floor. 13:02 left in the basketball game. Ash left block now. Doubled there. Back up to Sanders.
This is actually the first time I've seen Ash in person, and it's as he is as built.
Inside, going to have a foul call there. The gains are Robinson for the Lions, and to the line is going to be Patrick for the Dragons.
He's not one of those players that just takes over and wows you offensively with a bunch of moves. What Jalen Rose calls skill versus will. He is definitely a will. I mean, he has skill, but it is his will that has brought him to where he is.
Sure. Almost kind of at a steady as you go kind of person. Even kill, plays at a high level of intensity, but he just stays there.
Yeah. Yeah, knows what he does well, knows what he needs his teammates to do on these offensive sets, and it's working well so far here with the big margin of the lead.
Knocking down the free throws there for the Dragons. So Patrick, his first point of the ball game, 1 of 2 that trip from the line. Right now for the Dragons of Lane College, showing 3 players in double figures. Sanders with 14, Lewis with 15, and Ash with 11. So Ash already with the double-double. As Benso takes a seat, and DeJuan Curry back out on the floor now for Coach Bazemore. So in case you're keeping score at home, the tech was not called against Coach Bazemore, but it went against Tevin Roberts, the senior guard for the Dragons. He had 4 fouls as he sat on the bench and got hit with that technical. It's tough to foul out of the ball game when you're on the bench, man.
Yeah, that generally doesn't happen that way.
But he did. So Bide from the free throw line makes it 53-37.
Yeah, it's kind of like Craig getting fired for stealing boxes on his day off. How you foul out on
that
the
Friday's reference now.
How you foul out on the bench?
Down low, basket left side by Lewis. He adds to his total. You got Toby cracking up down there.
Hey man, it's a long day. We have to self-entertainment here.
On the weave now, Whittington, top of the key.
Oh, he just threw it right to him.
It right over to Curry. And they go back the other way. That's Ash leading the break right side.
Yeah.
So Ash proves he's human after all, commits a turnover.
You can do a jump stop. You cannot do a jump stop and then continue, which is what we saw.
Our folks saying hopping in 2 steps, that makes 3.
Good call, Mr. Ref. So with 11:56, we have a media timeout. Lane College is with a comfortable lead over Paine at 55-37. We'll be back with our live coverage here on HBCU Game Day.
Quincy January, senior from St. Augustine's University, power forward, sport management major from Libertyville, Georgia.
Christian Kirchman, I'm point guard here at Smith, and I'm from Roanoke, Virginia.
Robert Davis, shooting guard here at Johnson C. Smith University. I'm from West Friendship, Maryland.
Ramir Bellfield. I was born and raised in Roanoke Rapids, North Carolina. And I'm here shooting guard, senior at Livingstone. We real competitive, man.
Yeah. Competing with each other,
yeah. One-on-one shooting games.
You can't beat me.
Yeah. Don't let them fool you out here, man.
One thing that I'm for sure going to say is that we want to see that win a championship. That's my main focus. So that's the one thing that I can always carry over with me because they can't take that away from me.
Everything you try to hide behind during the season, it comes out at the tournament. So if you're a dog, you're going to be a dog. If you pretend to be a dog, you can show up the biggest cat in that arena. So I'm ready to see what them dogs are.
Welcome back here. Boy, Charles and I are having the senior moment here.
Sure, a big one.
Remember the cast of Blazing Saddles.
Right side, that's Whittington with the basketball. 55-37 lead for the Dragons. Lions work it inside to Gaines. Gaines missed on that shot on the inside. Rebound number 17 to Ash.
Yeah, you can see those little short misses that Gaines has. You can see next year those are probably plays he'll finish.
Out front now, Sanders with the basketball for the Dragons. Works it down at the block. Ash, left side, double there, leans back with the jumper, pushed out one, left it short. Dragons, Lions converge on the basketball. They go back the other way now. Bide works it out front. At the post to go, Nelms. Nelms doubled immediately. Back out front now, that's Holiday with the jumper. Shots off the mark, and chasing down that errant shot for number 18 is Ash. Boy, I'm about to be out of the running pretty quick here.
Yeah, we were making guesses at halftime how many rebounds Ash would finish with. Charles went with 19. I said 22. Toby said 24. Charles is about to be eliminated on the gauntlet here in a minute.
They have not credited him with that rebound. Now they have. So, yeah, my stuff is gone.
But we know Joel over there doing stats.
Joel registered that one. Bide now on the free throw line for the Lions of Paine College. Or Holiday, that is, to shoot him here. And he got the first. 10:20 remains as Murphy makes it back out on the floor now for the Lions. He will replace Whittington in the lineup.
Okay, so you look at stages when you're trying to make a comeback. You're down 17 now. Can you get it to 15? Can you get it to 10? Can you get it to 6?
Right now it's 55-39. Still got some ground to make up to get it to any of those. Ash lost it momentarily in the back court. Now works it over to Lee. And Lee is tripled. Now the senior Jade Patrick will work at left side Ash. Ash trying to step up his offensive prowess on the floor now. Handling that basketball a lot more in that half-court set. Inside the paint, the floater to the rack is off the mark by Curry. And a whistle down low.
Yeah, that was a reading rainbow he put up there.
So Ash will inbound it right at the cylinder. Just 3 to shoot there for the Dragons. He'll look to the inside, pushes it back. Lee with the jumper, fouled, and he knocks down the triple.
Oh, wow.
He gets a high five from Coach Bryant Bazemore. Good work there by Miles Lee, the sophomore from Hughes, Arkansas.
Yeah, that play looked a little sloppy. A lot of people were occupying the same space. The spacing seemed off, but they were able to resurrect that possession. Not a lot of time left on the shot clock, and hit a 3 and the foul.
So Lee with the rare opportunity for the 4-point play. And he missed on the free throw. Will go back the other way. Would not have counted, I don't believe, was a lane violation. Oh, no, they're going to have a foul in there. They call that foul, I believe, on Curry for the Dragons. And that'll send Nelms to the line for the Lions to shoot. 9:51 remains. Winner of this ball game will meet the winner of the Claflin-Tuskegee ball game. That'll take place later today here just on HBCU game day.
Yeah, Claflin, another tough team out of the East that there was just so many Dragons to slay in that division. Just because you're not first or second does not mean you're still not an excellent team.
Right.
And Claflin, are they the only team to beat both Morehouse and Clark? Did I get that right?
You got that. You have that absolutely right. You don't even have to say, tell me if I'm wrong.
Yeah, that was a road game, so I wasn't there in person, so I wanted to make sure I was factual there. But, yeah, Claflin. But they've lost some that left you scratching your head a little bit as well.
Sure. Handed the Maroon Tigers their only loss of the regular season. Murphy out front for the Lions. They push it across the floor for 3. That's Holiday. Good range and bangs it home for the Lions. 58-44 now. See if the Lions can make a surge. They can't stop Ash as he makes a surge right side for the lay-in.
And think about what those weekends were like for each team that had to come to Atlanta. You had to play Morehouse, and then 2 days later you had to play Clark Atlanta.
Well, that was a gauntlet for a lot of teams this year. Back out front once again. This Holiday knocks it down. So they're getting closer to that mark you were talking about there, Tolly. 60-47.
Yep, you got it to 13. Can you get a stop or a turnover? Can you get it to 10 here?
Bide comes away with it. Holiday thought about the three there again. 8:25 left. A lot of time remains on the clock.
Good one.
Pushing back out front, Nelms. 13 to shoot. Bide with the jumper off the mark. So the Lions had a good look. Good half-court set there. They shot that one a little bit prematurely with about 12 left on that shot clock. Ash doubled near the mid-stripe.
The Paine bench is coming alive a bit, calling for defense. Lane realizes, hey, the clock is our friend. No need to be in a rush here.
Here comes Patrick. Left it back for Lee. Lee for three. Lee is good. So Lee adding to his totals of this basketball game. He's got 9 points now. And guess what? They're all from behind the arc. Murphy gains with the jumper. Shot it hard. Rebound to someone else on the Dragon team other than Ash. That rebound to Patrick. This is Ash with the basketball. Sanders. Left side Patrick. 7:05 remains in the basketball game. 10 seconds remains on the shot clock. Ash pushes Patrick. Left corner with the jumper, Sanders. Remmer tapped around off the mark. Hit Bide, and I think it's going to go with the Lions. Backside of Fisher, Art Volk making that call. And the Lions will have it. 6:55 remains. Dragons lead it 63-47 over the Lions. We'll step out for a break. We're live on HBCU Game Day. We are back live inside the Bill Harris Arena, part of the Crossplex here in Birmingham, Alabama. SIAC basketball tournament, 6 minutes, 55 seconds remaining in this opening ball game on the second day of the tournament. It's the Lions of Paine College and the Dragons of Lane College. Right now, the Dragons leading at 63-47. Inside pass to Ronzel Evans, the junior from Fort Myers. Had a good look at the basket there, just not able to put that floater down. Ash comes back the other way now for the Dragons. Right corner, Lee free for three. Lee drains three again.
Well, Lee has been the momentum killer here for Payne's efforts to get back into this ball game. He's hit a couple of big threes.
He's hit 4. Gaines got a good look, and he knocks down a 3.
Yep.
I went quiet on the last rebound by Ash. He's at the number 19 now. So I told Coach Bazemore to take him out at 19. So I'm going to go over and talk to him and see if we get this done.
Well, I'm not feeling good about your chances, Charles.
Patrick, left side, bounce pass and left it right over as the Lions pick it up. Babe in the backcourt now, pushes right side Gaines. Gaines slides the paint, right side. The freshman with a good job inside the paint. talked about it a few minutes ago. Cameron Gaines really showing a lot of ability as a freshman with the Lions.
He's got the instincts. He's got the moves. Just maybe get a little bigger, stronger. He's got the speed.
Played his high school ball at Rockdale High School in Conyers, Georgia. Ash, hard push right side. Now back out Sanders, top of the key lead. Over to Patrick, 3-second violation. Coach Bazemore screaming at Miles Lee saying, fire that three-pointer. I don't care if you're behind the NBA line.
Say, Mr. Lee, you have hit 2 back-to-back threes already.
What in the world you want? You have the green light. Murphy, foul line extended. Patrick commits the foul. .5:16 remains in this basketball game. Winner will play on Thursday, the 3:15 contest. It's Murphy at the line for the Lions shooting here. Murphy with 5 points in the ball game. Missed on his first trip to the free throw line, and he misses on the first one here.
Yep, we have a very good angle here to watch Kendarius Ash potentially pick up his 20th rebound.
I got to credit you with that, Tolly. You
and there it
created
is.
that spot.
And Charles is eliminated.
Sure. You guys. Lee misses on the 3, and he's looking at the coach say, see, Coach, I told you. I wasn't ready to shoot that 3 yet. Okay, so all I can do now is be spoiler. So right now he's at 21 rebounds.
That was 21.
That was 21.
Oh.
All right, so who's next?
I'm probably about to get dropped off the love boat here because I said he would have 22 for the game. Toby said 24.
Okay.
With 5:03 to go, I can easily see him getting more than 1 rebound for the rest of the way.
All right. Well, as Richard Pryor would say in that hit, which way is up? You go take a seat over there by the blind man.
Boy, you have a lot of verses you can pull from the Book of Pryor.
Indeed, you do.
Many of which cannot be said on this broadcast.
Most of which. That's absolutely right. What a comedic genius. 6:53 remains. Ash drains the free throw. He'll go to 13, 14 points now in the basketball game.
Yeah, just anytime I hear somebody say, boy!
Is that your Mudbone reference? Okay.
I just gave you a taste. That's all.
Gaines working it, half-court set. Ash now at 15 points and 21 rebounds. Babe with a floater inside the paint. Nicely done by Murphy. So Murphy now up to 7 in the ball game. The lead for the Dragons remains strong, though, 68-54. Patrick out front, jumped immediately on the defense there by Holiday. Whistles out front, and Holiday got him.
You know, I will say this about the West. We talked about how the East is the dominant conference in basketball this year. The West is clearly the leader in mascots. We have magicians, we have dragons, we have thoroughbreds, we have marauders. You know, over in the East, we just got tigers and panthers and wildcats. It's like the Jungle Book.
Yeah, kind of mundane over there.
Yeah. I mean, you go out West, man. A marauder? Like,
sure.
Really? Wow.
Thoroughbred? Yeah.
That's
got a little something going there, right?
If they had a mascot war, I got my money on the West. Although I wouldn't want to fight a tiger, so I don't know.
I don't think you could outrun him on a horse either. Thoroughbred might not get you there.
Yeah, be a pack of tigers.
4:21 remains in this basketball game. Across the timeline goes Bide. Bide slides through in traffic and threw it away. Rebound comes clear to Lewis.
And that was a sit-down rebound. How about that?
Just came right to him. You know you got it good there when you're just sitting on the court and you get a rebound. Patrick out front now. We're under 4 left. Spins to the rack, missed on the shot. Tie up for the rebound with Patrick and Evans. And we're going to stay with the arrow on the Dragon end of the floor. Timeout on the floor. 3:52 remains. We'll take a break here. 70-54. We'll stay if Tolly stays in the race on the rebounding edge for Ash after the break. This is HBCU Game Day. We're back. Bill Harris Arena, second day of the SIAC tournament, opening round play. Men's action, 3:52 remains in the ball game between the Lions of Paine College and the Dragons of Lane College. Inside the paint, leaning toward the rack on the shot is Lewis. Shots off the mark. The freshman chases it down for the Lions, but threw it right back to the Dragons of Lane.
Oh, good steal by Paine Murphy.
Murphy just picked Patrick clean.
Yeah, he was a little upset with himself as Gaines saved that ball that was nearly going out of bounds. Murphy couldn't hold on to it. Lane came up with it, but he made up for it with the defensive effort to just outright strip the ball and head down the court there.
You were talking about it early on in this ball game about the disappointment the team experiences when it's difficult for them to break a press and get it across half court. It's just probably more embarrassing if you're out there one-on-one and you get picked clean near the mid-strike where everybody can see it, right?
Yes, on full display. If he misses his free throw, who's going to get the rebound? Oh, he made it.
On the floor now for the Lions, Malcolm Whittington, the senior, back out. Long Beach, California native. Another SIAC presence from the West Coast.
Oh, yeah.
Ash inbounds it to Sanders. We approach 3:30 remaining in the basketball game.
Long Beach.
Lee surveys.
Lee, you know you have the green light.
And they toss it away down at the block. So the Lions will have it. And here comes Bide across the timeline. He'll slide left side now. Open lane there for Evans. Lost it momentarily to the rack. The spinner's going to fall good for him. And he drew the foul. He will be going to the free throw line.
The
spinners.
Nice piece
of work inside by Sanders, or Evans, that is.
Able to switch to the left hand.
3:04 remains. Patrick takes his seat. Patrick with his 5th personal, and he departs the basketball game. So Roberts fouls out, and now Patrick joins him at sideline.
But he did foul out on the floor, not from the bench.
Free throw is good by Evans, converting that three-point play. And so back out on the floor, he'll replace Curry in the lineup.
Yep, Payne's looking to pick up full court.
Quick-footed Sanders handles in the backcourt. Now gives over to Ash. Bide has that defensive assignment on Ash. We're under 3 minutes remaining in the basketball game. Ash dumps it down low in traffic, and the Dragons have to catch up with it outside the perimeter. 6 to shoot for him now. Sanders, he'll raise, fire, and drains.
Ooh, wow.
Sanders has got a beast from behind the arc today.
He backpedaled down the court. He said, boom, boom, boom.
4 of 4 from behind the arc for Sanders. Bide tries to cancel and a whistle down low. A correction on that, he's 4 of 10 from behind the arc, Sanders is, with 17 points. So we go back the other way now. Foul called against the Lions of Paine College. So Sanders and Lewis each with 17 in the ball game for the Dragons. Ash with 15 and Lee with 12. So 4 in double figures for Coach Bazemore.
Coming up next is the first dose of a double dose of Claflin. We'll have some women's action as Claflin takes on Lane. That's 2:30 Central Time. My body is still saying East Coast time. I woke up this morning, Charles. There was so much sunlight. My hotel room was awash with sunlight. I said, oh, no, I overslept. The guys are going to kill me. And it was like 6:45. I was like, oh, wow, they get a lot of sunlight early in the morning here in Birmingham.
Get a little sooner here, right? On the steal, Dragons going back the other way now. Sanders, alley-oop down low, nicely done to Ash. Kind of a partial alley-oop, more of a line drive.
Yeah.
But they got it done. Ash with the basket. Sanders with the assist. His third assist of the fourth of the ball game. 1:55 left. Gaines, foul on extended, routed and missed.
Rebound.
There's number 22.
With 1:45
You're right there. You're right there on it, Tommy.
Toby still has hope, though.
Yeah,
Toby's
he's chilling back there in his seat. I'm not worried. I got this.
Toby says he's going to get 24.
Ash.
That was a self-pass.
Yeah. Got it down low on the pass to Lewis, and Lewis converts.
Yeah. The officials are ready to go.
Sure. Won't see a whole lot of whatever, huh?
That was clearly a travel. You cannot pass the ball to yourself.
Back the other way now. Lions able to keep it. They work it in the corner to the freshman Gaines. Underneath the cylinder. Spinners off the mark. Got a second look. Stronger effort there by him this time. And the freshman puts it down for the Lions.
Yep, seeing all that action up close and personal under the basket there.
55 seconds left in this basketball game. It's going to be the Dragons pushing forward into the tournament.
Yep, up 19. There's nothing that Paine can do.
Lewis
they can
rejected
still,
down low by Gaines.
They can still hustle, but the math is no longer a possibility for them.
Dragons with it, leading at 79-60. Knew it would be an uphill battle for the Lions of Paine College to pull an upset here against the number 2 team in the West.
What is the prize for me winning this bet again? Did we discuss that?
We did. Tolly said that if you won, you got the pleasure of breaking down the equipment after tonight's game.
Oh man, you talk about my least favorite thing in the world. The real work begins when the broadcast ends.
Right? No question.
Break down equipment. Make graphics for tomorrow.
Ash from the free throw line, trying to pad the numbers from there, not able to convert on that first free throw. 17 points to go along with his 19 rebounds. 22 on the day for Ash.
Say it slowly. 22.
I just want him to get another rebound just so you don't win.
Okay, so you got your post-game questions ready for Coach Bazemore. We got track suits, rebounds, where are the white jerseys? We got a lot going on here.
Change of apparel. I'm going to write these down.
Where'd you get your shoes? They're pretty sharp. Who is your haberdasher?
So Ash out front. There's 27 seconds left in this basketball game. They will push on, the Dragons do, to quarterfinal play. That'll be on Thursday, meeting either the Panthers of Claflin or the Golden Tigers of Tuskegee. Ash in and out of the paint. And Coach Bazemore telling him now, don't take any shots, let's just run it off. They'll get the shot clock violation, and the basketball will go back over to the Lions of Paine. And they'll have about 6 seconds left here in the contest. Backcourt to Bide. Bide's just going to hold it there. And that is where we will end this opening round basketball game. 20-point win for the Dragons of Lane College. They win it over the Lions of Paine, 80-60. And as a result, Dragons push on to quarterfinal play on Thursday. And they'll meet the winner of the ball game that we'll have for you live here on HBCU Game Day. That'll come your way at 4:45 right here from Bill Harris Arena to determine whether it's Claflin or Tuskegee that they'll meet in the quarterfinals. So brackets on second day, our first ball game of second day activity, starting to shape up a bit here. We know from the women's side that it'll be Clark Atlanta and Miles in the quarterfinal ball game on Wednesday. And on the women's side, it'll be Central State and Benedict on Wednesday as well. For the men, Morehouse and Fort Valley set to meet in the quarterfinal on Wednesday. And Central State and Benedict set to meet in quarterfinal action on Wednesday. A lot more of that picture going to come to focus as we play these remaining 4 ball games on our schedule here today from the Crossplex in the Bill Harris Arena. So glad you could join us for our coverage on HBCU Game Day. First ball game of the day, 20-point win for the Dragons of Lane College over the Lions of Paine College. Number 2 out of the West, defeating the 7th team out of the East. And we're joined now generously by head coach Brian Bazemore, head coach of the Dragons of Lane College. Coach, thanks for joining us, and congratulations on the win.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Well, a couple of sublime questions we'll start out with. Tell us about the tracksuit, and now tell us about the suit.
Oh, don't put me on the spot like that. Don't do that to me. I came in with my suit, but I had the wrong pants with the jacket. So, and before I just came out here looking like a turkey, I decided to just
wait it out.
Yeah, I wait till halftime.
That's a man of style. Me, I would have just gone.
No, I couldn't. I had too much to risk at that point.
Let's talk a little bit about the ball game now. Both teams starting out, each of you seem to be playing at a level of intensity that suggested that, despite the fact that each of you had long delays since your last ball game, the level of intensity was very high in this contest.
You know, I got to credit the Birmingham and the kids they had in here earlier. They really helped us out the first half, as so I think they did with Paine. You know, we had some energy in here. You know, it's always hard. The first game is quiet. And those guys really, they picked the team they wanted to cheer for, and I thought they did a good job of helping us get excited defensively, and then we made some steals and some shots, and before you knew it, it was a very intense high ball game.
Excellent point there. Had not thought about that those were the kids from the career day here and from the SIAC, so that certainly added to the environment. But in this ball game against the team that you beat during the regular season, what was your thought in terms of what you all had to do to ensure that it was going to be a second win against the Lions this year?
Well, I came in the ball game very nervous. I didn't sleep well at all last night because even though we beat them down at their place, I've been keeping up with guys of the teams on the East Division, and Paine and Albany State, but especially Paine, have been playing well. They last 5-6 ball games. They had got on the streak where they even beat Benedict. So, you know, we couldn't overlook them. So we really talked about focusing, paying attention to detail and the small things, and making sure once we got a lead or got them down that we just continue to execute and stay to the game plan.
I want to jump off subject just a little bit here because we talked about this last time you were up at Morehouse when we were playing the ball game up there, and we had a conversation about the strength of the East being so strong with the conference this year. And on the West, we're at that point that we were talking about in that conversation, that in the tournament, despite what went on during the regular season, it's a chance for somebody out of the West, and in your case, namely the Dragons, to pick one of those teams off in the East.
Well, you know what? The West has been down this year a little bit, but all teams on the West are starting to play better. And then by coming into this tournament, we know everyone is 0-0. You know, we need a little help, and the West I think is going to represent really well in the SIC this year. It's just a matter of everybody executing to their game plans and trying to get the advantage in the first half.
We saw something very interesting in the ball game today, that tech on Tevin Roberts at sideline. We're joking about the fact that Tevin's probably the only guy to foul out of a ball game and not be on the floor. But in that contest, we keyed in really on the performance of Darius Ash. Ash with 22 rebounds in this ball game, just a phenomenal effort by him. Talk about some of your personnel in the ball game today.
You know, but the injury bug getting attacked us, and no one cares that we're hurt. We come in here shorthanded this evening for the whole week. And then, you know, we have an individual talk with Ash and talk about what we need to get done. And as usual, KD's 22 rebounds, unbelievable. Another big night for him from that standpoint. But more than his rebounding, it's what he says and does in the timeouts in the locker room that you guys don't get to hear about. His leadership, is so phenomenal, and that's what we feed off of. We go as he go, and most teams know that. But Ash was just unbelievable again today, as well as was Jalen Lewis and some of the other guys. They really played well. Shanti Sanders shot the ball for me really well tonight. So that's what we're going to need is a collective team effort throughout the rest of the tournament, and we'll just see where the chips fall.
You turn your attention now to the quarterfinals, and you don't know quite who you'll meet yet. When I ask you about your preference, I think I know the answer to that. With Claflin and Tuskegee playing later today, who would you like to see in that quarterfinal round?
You know what? I'm going to support the West Division. I'm going to say Tuskegee. I got a lot of respect for Coach Don, as do I got a lot of respect for Coach Jackson, but Coach Jackson's on the East. So I'm pulling for Tuskegee to pull out the victory later on this evening. I think Don has done a great job with his team and what he's got those guys doing right now. And if they stay focused and stay pretty hungry throughout the night, it's going to be a dogfight now. A lot of respect to Claflin and what they've done. Heck, if Morehouse and Clark Atlanta weren't so strong, it'd be Claflin right there at the top. So you can't overlook anyone at this point. But I'd rather see Tuskegee. As Barry Watson once told me, you want the easiest route to the championship.
Kind of thought that had something to do with it as well, Coach. You win it by 20 here in this opening round. Congratulations on the win, and we will see you back here in the quarterfinals on Thursday.
Thank you so much, Go Dragon Nation.
Head Coach Brian Bazemore and his Dragons push on to the quarterfinal rounds with a win today with an 80-60 win over the Lions of Paine College. We'll step out for a break here on HBCU Game Day. Much more basketball coming your way here from the SIAC Basketball Tournament. Stay with us. This is HBCU Game Day live at the SIAC Basketball Tournament.